Okay, I am sorry that this video is having to be in two parts, but my video kind of got interrupted a little bit. So where we left off, we were making the next flower, the next version of the verruca. So we're deciding, do you want it to curve this way? Do you want it to curve to the left? Do you want it to be shorter? Do you want it to be taller? These are all decisions that you're going to make along the way, and yours does not have to look like mine. I don't even know what I want to do. Let's just do it this way. Okay, so you get down the first part of your stem, aura to the second. We put on our frown that comes back around to the stem. And then the aura. Okay, so now instead of using this Q-tip top shape, I'm going to change it up a little bit. So instead, I'm going to, again, we come up, the middle one comes up from the stem, but I'm going to make mine a little more geometric. Same idea, and then we come down, but only doing half. Come down each time, we come down, and I'm actually going to let mine stop there. And then we do the other side. So it definitely does not have to be the case that you bring it all the way around to see the others. What this is basically doing is it's a flower that hasn't opened up as much, and that's completely fine. All right, let's put another one in here. I'm gonna do, I guess I'll stay with this idea right now. Oops, sorry about that. And then we do the frown that comes around and the aura. And now the shape I'm going to use for this one is more like, I'll use something that's more like a Hershey kiss. All we have to do for verruca is we continue to follow the same concept of each time you're doing a petal, you come down a little bit on the side of the one that exists before it. And I'm going to leave this one closed up a little bit, just like this one was. So now I want to start adding some embellishments to these tangles. So I think I'll just add those little balls for that one. For these, maybe I'll just do a line and a little orb. We keep doing it all the way around. In Zentangle, a basic rule is that whatever you do to one, you do to all. So we don't want to leave any of these out. Okay, and then for this one, I think I'll just do a little bit, I don't know if you can see that real well, just a little bit of a wiggly top. Just something a little different. We could even give that more weight, and we could ink those in if we want. That's fine too. Remember, no right or wrong, it's whatever you feel like doing. This is how your Zentangle project takes on its own identity. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to leave that there. And now I'm going to add some of our muka. Remember muka, my mac and cheese. All right, so the muka's going to grow out of all this as well. So we're just going to start wherever you want. Remembering the key to muka is that your beginning line is the outside of the muka. And then we make it into a ball. And we aura back down. So I'm just going to keep adding these, and I do want some to go behind my stem. So as soon as I touch a line that already exists, I have to jump over it. I can't draw through it. In Zentangle, most of the time, the rule is that you can cross a pencil line, but you do not cross an ink line. There are a couple instances that we break that rule, but pretty rare. So I just at this point encourage you to add as many muka as you like, wherever you like. Let them grow behind each other. I think that adds a lot to your piece when you do that. Hopefully your gel pen is working a little bit better than mine if you're doing this project on a black tile or a colored piece of paper, however you're doing it. And the muka just really helps to fill in nicely that empty space. I think it gives this tile a real whimsical look and feel. Can't see a whole lot of that one, but that's okay. Now you certainly could have brought muka from the shoulders of the Huggins as well. It's just your choice, whatever makes you happy. All right, so now we are going to add some shading. So shading, again, with a black tile, is going to need a colored chalk for the shading. The regular lead pencil is not going to work. So the way that we shade Huggins is we take the bits that are laying down, and we imagine that they're going under the ones that are standing up. So because they're going under, we need to put our chalk in those areas where it's going under, so that we're creating the shadow from what was above. So we put those in, and then we're going to very gently, much more gently than you do with the lead pencil, we're going to very gently encourage the chalk into the paper and bring it down. We want to keep the blending happening because that's what makes it look so interesting, is when you get different shades as you move along. So it's always going to be the darkest at that point where it's going under. Okay, so we can leave it like that, or we can also take and we can add some chalk to the shoulders and the feet. And then blend those down and up. This is just a matter of personal choice, whether you were happy with it just being the every other, or whether it felt like it needed a little more. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little better. Okay. All right, now with the muka, we want to take our balls, the balls of the muka, and we're just going to add little commas. It doesn't matter. They don't all have to be placed in the same place. We need to add something so that we get the balls to look like they actually are round. We want to give them that dimension and make them become three-dimensional. and in some way come to life. So we do that with Muka with those commas. Just like that, they look like little bubbles. And then we always add a little lead, or in this case, chalk, in the places that one stem is going other, or one Muka is going under another, because that would cast a shadow. So we're going to add some of those. Okay. I think I'm going to put some at the bottoms because I want to add a little depth in there. And look at that. We're almost done. Just giving that little bit of life. And when I look at these stems, they're so long and they're not showing all of the texture that we get here. So I'm even just going to pick a spot on each one and put a little bit of chalk and blend that. Again, there's not a lot of rules to shading. It's more a feeling and what you enjoy. You're not following the art rules of a light source, which is so nice, because that way you don't have to worry if you're not really able to figure out the light source and what that means. See, that just added a little bit more. And when we go to shade in the Veruca, again, we think about the fact that this petal is partly under that one. So where that happens is where you're going to have to add the chalk. And we'll blend that in nicely. Could even, if we want, maybe do some right around the base, because you might see a shadow in there. And again, if you feel that this is just too stark, then add a little. Just add a little. You can always add more. Pretty hard to take it away, so I would start adding chalk. Kind of be stingy with it at first, because you can always go back once you see what you've initially got. You know, don't be afraid to hold your tile out at arm's length. See how it looks. And then many times your tile's going to tell you. I know it sounds weird, but it does. It kind of tells you what it needs. There's that one. And I'm going to do the same with the last one. This one wound up being much smaller, so it's not going to take as much chalk. All right. Now, if you wanted, you could go back. You could ink this in. If you're doing this lesson on a white tile, then obviously this would be your ink. That adds a little drama, just like when you use your black ink. I tell you that the more you use it, the more you're adding drama to your piece. Not bad. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just looking at all of this dark up here. Like I have this nice soft area at the bottom. I want to do something at the top. So I think I'm just going to take my chalk. I'm going to make a part of a border, whatever part actually fits in. Just going to draw that in. And I could leave it like that. Already I think is better. Or I can soften it up just a little bit. There we go. There you have it. And then we always remember to add our chop, add your signature wherever you like it to be. You can hide it, you can make it a little more obvious. I never really know where I'm going to put my chop until I'm finished, and I just start looking around to decide what I think is going to look best. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed learning Veruca, Huggins, and Muka, and that you created a nice little garden picture. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.